happening. I will say Bray Wyatt is probably in my top 3 as well. And actually, I'm going to go Cesaro as well. I'm going to go a little shocker there. I think Cesaro really does have a good shot.
I don't think it's a shocker. I think every single person that watches Raw would love Cesaro to leave as champion, but it just... This is what WWE's philosophy, okay? Everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win the title. WWE was very hesitant because of the way Daniel Bryan wrestles, and they were afraid he was going to get hurt. They didn't want to put the title on him because he's an investment. And what happened? They listened to the fans. They put the title on him. He got hurt.
And he got hurt.
Then he came back. They put another title on him. He got hurt. Now he's out. So, are they going to listen to the fans anymore, or are they going to go with their gut? They're going to go with their gut, and I don't think they're going to put a title on Cesaro.
All right. Here's another question: will there be any surprise entrants in this tournament?
The only one I can honestly say that would be a surprise, but to me it wouldn't be a surprise. He would only be there to put over somebody. Is Chris Jericho?
Yes, I completely agree. I see Chris Jericho as just a filler entrant who puts somebody over.
Or Christian, even though they said Christian's career is pretty much over, but at least, he goes out, to the fans cheering him, and that, I don't feel he's going to be there, but Chris Jericho, I have a funny feeling he's going to be there. Maybe Christian's there as well. I honestly...
What about somebody from NXT?
NXT, I don't think you're going to see Finn Balor. I think he's the champ. He's going to remain that way. You're not going to see Samoa Joe. I don't think Samoa Joe's ever going to leave NXT. I think he's very content at NXT being there.
He will. I think he will come up. It's just a matter of, it's not going to be for a while. He's going to be that guy that gets the title after Finn, and then Finn will come up to the main roster.
I think eventually he'll be champion at NXT. I just think by the time he's champion and he has his run as champ, I think he's gonna be content with his career and where it is, because NXT, it's its own brand. Where people say, it's developmental. Yeah, it is developmental, but not for Joe, not for Rhino, not for Tyson Kidd. It's just somewhere else for them to go to keep themselves physically active and going. And I feel, I just judging by that round table of 3 show.
Yeah.
I just feel
you watched that one with them?
I watched every single one since you mentioned it.
Yeah.
I just feel that Joe is very content being at NXT.
Yeah, I think he is too. He's very happy with his life right now.
Yeah. There's not a lot of stress on him. He's not a lot of travel. He doesn't have to run around the country. It's just a very relaxing schedule for him. And he gets still be in the spotlight a couple times a month. His name is still thrown out there.
His family can just live in Florida, and he gets to see his family all the time, man. Like, he hardly leaves. Like, he'll go do signings elsewhere, but he almost always wrestles in Orlando, man. I mean, like... Yep.
He's got a good life right now.
Schedule.
I mean, unless they throw some sick money at him, I honestly, I don't see him. I think he'll get maybe a little run or appearance here, maybe the Royal Rumble or something like that,
definitely.
Or he comes down and maybe Finn Balor makes an appearance at WWE and has an Intercontinental match, and Samoa Joe comes out and interferes with him, which leads to Balor going back to NXT for one more match against Joe, kind of like what Kevin Owens did.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I honestly, I don't think anybody from NXT is really going to come up. That's just NXT. Maybe like I said, they don't really. Maybe they bring Rhino up for the tournament.
Okay.
It's a possibility.
If you're going to fill a 14 or 16 person tournament, man.
Yeah, you need somebody.
And you're also... here's a good question for you.
Yeah.
How many matches end in a time limit draw? Because you got to have a time limit.
You know what? Once the bracket is released, I literally think you can look at it and say, that's the draw.
Yep.
Or that's the double disqualification or the double count out.
Yep, exactly.
You knew in WrestleMania 4 that Hogan wasn't winning the title back. So you knew when he was fighting Andre that neither one of them were advancing because they would have had to take on Ted DiBiase in the next round. And you know there was a swerve that Ted DiBiase wound up getting the bye and an automatic advance into the finals.
Yep, and you know there's going to be some like a 10-minute limit in the first round. Second round will maybe be like a 15-minute limit. Yep. Like
the only one that was a shock was in WrestleMania 4 was the Jake the Snake Rick Martel.
Yes.
Double. That was the time limit draw. Wait, was it that? No, it was Rick Rude and Ultimate Warrior. Wait, no. Ultimate Warrior wasn't there. It was Rick Rude and Jake the Snake.
Yes, it was Rude and Snake.
Rude and Snake. Yes. Yeah, and that allowed one-man gang to advance.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that was the surprise.
Yeah, that was the surprise one. That was the one you didn't expect. You totally knew that neither one of... Because if Andre won, he would have had to fight DiBiase, which he would have just laid down for him anyway. And you knew Hogan wasn't going to win because if you had DiBiase cleanly beat Hogan, that would be... Hogan's career would have been over there.
Yeah.
So... but, you know, and the other tournaments they've had, it just... WrestleMania 4 was the best because it was... You had everybody in it was still at the top, and other than maybe Andre the Giant. Everybody was still at the top peak of their career.
Yep.
And that was insane. 14 guys. I mean, you look at a poster from the mid to late 80s. You look at posters... And you could point out and know every single guy on that poster, and every single one of them had significant weight in wrestling during their wrestling time. Now you put up a poster, and it's like 13 guys.
Yep. I'm going to give the WWE benefit of the doubt, and as much as I think it might really tank if they don't do something crazy, I think they're going to surprise us. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to get some kind of swerve, some kind of big thing that happens. Whether Roman walks out as a champ or not, I think the WWE is going to recognize that they need some kind of big pop that night. And I think we're going to get something. I don't know what, but we're going to get something.
Okay. Two scenarios here. I got another question for you. Two gentlemen just signed WWE veteran contracts. Legends contracts. Does Tatanka appear in the tournament?
No. I don't see either one of those. I just think that neither one of them would get big reactions at all, and I think fans would actually be pissed if him or the Boogeyman take a spot away from somebody else.
Okay, here's another scenario for you. They announce that Bray Wyatt and two of the other members of the Wyatt family are going to take on The Undertaker and Kane in a 6-man tag, mystery guest partner, and it winds up being the Boogeyman. Do you take Kane, Undertaker, and Boogeyman to take on 3 members of the Wyatt family? Maybe the Boogeyman brings them back to life with his clock, turns back the time?
I don't know how fans would react to that. And I personally don't know how I would feel.
I can tell you right now, Mark Wright, a.k.a. the Boogeyman, he's still in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
You know, Tatanka, don't get me wrong, Tatanka is still in ridiculous shape as well, but Marty Wright is, he's still jacked.
Here's another scenario. With the Usos coming back and probably going to get the next push in the tag team division. Mm-hmm. What do you feel about possibly breaking up the Dudleys? Not breaking them up, per se, but having one of them go deep in the tournament.
I don't think that's going to happen because I feel the Dudleys are there for one reason only, and we talked about this. It's just to put over the younger talent, and I think it was a stall tactic until the Usos came back. Mm-hmm. Do the Dudleys win the title? No, at this point, I don't think so, because with the Usos coming back, you can't have the Usos take on the Dudleys. So
no, you can't.
The window of opportunity was lost They should have won the title like the second match against New Day. New Day could have took it back at the next pay-per-view, setting up WrestleMania against the Usos. So, it's just that window I think is closed now for the Dudleys. I think they're there just to entertain the crowd, just the anticipation of possibly seeing someone get put through a table.
Exactly, yeah. I personally could see, another thing I could see is something that I've actually heard is the Dudleys possibly being the 2 tag team partners for Undertaker and Kane.
Well, that's if they do a full, 8-man. I was
4-on-4.
Yeah, 4-on-4. I was, from what I read, Harper is not going to be at Survivor Series.
Really?
That's what I read, because even a couple people who made, how people make these pictures and they say, oh, would you go for this match? And it had the Wyatt family, but it was Strowman, Rowan, and Wyatt versus Undertaker, Kane, and Sting as the third man on that side. You wouldn't do that. You might as well add another person on the other side, like Boogeyman or somebody, if you were going to use all 4 of Wyatt, but clearly Harper wasn't in the picture.
Yeah. Huh.
So
okay.
I also think that's why they've been waiting so long to announce if that match is going to happen, because they really want all 4 to be in that match.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to find out tomorrow.
We're going to find out. Yeah, we're going to find out tomorrow.
You can't wait till the following week. You can't wait till the following week, because that's 6 days of build. That's crap.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow is going to be the first actual televised event since Seth got hurt. So we'll actually start hearing tomorrow what's going to happen, and we'll have the tournament that's announced. And I mean, thank God. I mean, for the WWE's sake, that this happened on Wednesday. That they have 5 days to build and write the show, as well as the rest of the shows for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and 2.5 weeks until the pay-per-view, so they had time to, screw that up again.
Exactly. What? Think about this right now. What if this would have happened, like, the Friday before, like, two days before the pay-per-view?
Oh,
what if this would have happened the Friday before?
It would have been terrible. It would have been a mishmash pay-per-view. It really would have tanked.
Yeah.
And this is, this is the Survivor Series. This is one of their founding 4s. They cannot stink up the joint with one of the original 4s. They can't do it.
Yeah, they can't.
You want to stink up Night of Champions? You want to stink up No Way Out? Go right ahead. But you can't stink up the Royal Rumble. You can't stink up Survivor Series. Can't stink up SummerSlam. And you sure as hell can't stink up WrestleMania.
Exactly.
So
they got to have something.
You got 8 other ones to stink up the joint with.
What'd you say?
You have 8 other ones to stink up the joint with.
Yeah. Regardless of what happens, I think the WWE will make some kind of effort to get the fans into it, because even if they have Roman win, they're going to try and appease us in other ways.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just, like I said, I feel, I just feel like this is the time now where I think the WWE Universe needs to understand what happens and just hope that the mid-carders take that step forward and start their career now.
Yep, exactly.
One more guy I wanted to ask you if you think he's going to be in the tournament. I accidentally...
Okay.
Daniel Bryan.
No. As much as I want him to. Not that I would say that I would want him to win the title, as much as I would, as much as the fans would pop out.
Actually, you know what? I don't know if the fans would mark as much as they used to. I actually think they might feel that it's a cop-out if Daniel Bryan gets in this tournament and winds up winning. Being gone so long and then getting in there and boom, you won the title. I don't think the fans will buy it as much. I think he might get a lot of pop at the beginning, but I think it'll dry out quick.
Yeah.
The belt being with the Authority keeps the pop strong because it's the good versus the bad. If Daniel Bryan wins a title
point.
being gone so long, what are you going to do? You're going to have